I think I'm going to do something a bit different than talk about Dress for Success, which is not surprising to those of you in the room who know me. So I figure you've heard a bit about Dress for Success and we've heard some amazing stories. So I'm going to kind of try and wrap it all together, if that's okay. And where I thought we might start is the hugest round of applause for Sonia G for pulling this whole thing together. So I met Sonia just over a year ago through Dress for Success, and that was when she was thinking about doing something for Dress for Success, and then she mentioned this event and we were like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Julia will come as a speaker, I'll be her little wingman, wingwoman on the night. And then I saw this young, impressive woman, Sonia G, pull off an event very, very similar, actually not quite as fabulous as tonight, but really there, because you always want to up yourself. So you did that, and pull off this amazing event. And I think the thing that it showed me, and it was a huge sigh of relief, was that the next generation of women, you guys have got this. Like watching Kay, hearing from Regan, hearing from Sonia, like for those of us who are over 50, we've got this next generation coming through that care about this stuff and who get this stuff and are on our tailcoats driving this agenda. So Sonia, Kate, Regan, thank you for being the role models of the next generation, because my daughter who's 16, she needs you guys, because this work is not done yet. Okay, there is no equality at this stage, even in a country like ours. So the work is still to be done. And that's not to exclude the men in the room. You guys are absolutely a part of this journey. Hashtag, I did see Kate say this, so hashtag real men are feminists. So bring it on, we need you here as well. I wanted to say a little bit about Xplore. So Xplore, absolutely, the work that Xplore has done since our founder, Diana Ryle, kicked this business off in 2002, first people in the market doing the work of advancement of women in their careers, in their profession, coaching, whatever it is. We still do it today because there's still a need today. So 18 years later, this work is still being done. And we don't see the need decreasing, which is unfortunate, but if you're a business person, it's kind of fortunate. So we like that we are able to support women each and every day in the work that we do at Xplore through our programs. And it's really similar to what Kate talked about and Regan as well. Our work is all based on two things. It's based on getting women to understand what their strengths are, positive psychology, and stepping up and to the plate around that stuff. So I think one of your quotes, Kate, was if you don't get heard, yell. Okay, we don't always say that exactly like that in our programs, but absolutely you've got to find your voice, and that's a really key message. So that's something that we are very, very much advocates for at Xplore. The journey and weaving Xplore together, why would we want to be a partner for an event like this? It's because we get Dress for Success. So our founder, Diana Ryle, who's here tonight, was a part of the original committee for Dress for Success in Sydney, which started 10 years ago. And in fact, Xplore is really proud to be the entity that actually donated the first $5,000 to get Dress for Success Sydney up and running. So a big thank you to Diana Ryle. Not only starting Xplore back in 2002, but then having her business up and running enough to be able to throw $5,000 towards starting an awesome charity like this here in Sydney. For those of you who don't know much about Dress for Success, you can obviously jump on our website and find out all about us, but I'm going to give you a couple of things that you need to know about us. Dress for Success, it's a global charity, started 21 years ago in New York. It exists now in 130 something around the countries, and we have 7 affiliates here in Australia. What we primarily do is we have women who are referred to us for interviewed clothing to enable them to actually look the part when they go out for their job interview. We know that lookism exists, okay? It's an unconscious bias. And it exists for men and women, but it's a greater issue for women than it is for men. That is why we help women. It's also, there are a lot more women trying to either enter the workforce for the very first time or re-enter the workforce. So they're the women that we are here to help each and every day. And I think it was interesting that Regan, your song, you sang Lean On Me, like that was the song that you sang, and that is what our clients do when they come to Dress for Success. They need us. Most of them walk in to our service, into our boutique. Usually their shoulders are hunched over. They are in probably one of the very few outfits that they own, and their eyes are usually looking at their feet. Their self-confidence is low or non-existent, and their self-belief said goodbye many, many years ago. They spend an hour with one of our amazing volunteers, of which we have over 400, 200 active, which means there's 200 volunteers that have done an hour of service in the last 6 months, which is extraordinary. 1 hour with one of our volunteers, styling them. They walk out that door, not just with an outfit, because that's what it is, it's clothing and a couple of extra bits and pieces, and a handbag and shoes and accessories and makeup, but so much more than that. They've had an hour of someone's time caring for them. Some of them have not had a new bra or a pair of shoes or someone to even talk to about stuff in their life for a very long time. So they walk out the door with these clothes and an absolute new lease of life. They have not seen their old selves for a very long time, and they are reconnected with who she is and who she wants to be. So that is an amazingly powerful 1 hour that we spend with our clients. And in 2018, we saw almost 3,000 clients in New South Wales alone. There are lots of women out there that need our services, and that is why we need fundraising, because we want to service more of these women in need with their styling, with their CVs, with their interview skills, with coaching, so that they can go and find a way back to financial independence. So if you are wondering what Dress for Success does and the difference that it makes, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight to how it all works. So I suppose if you think about the history of Dress for Success and Xplore and Di's involvement, it makes, it's no surprise when someone said, hey, I want to do this event this year, what do you think? Do you want to help out? And I'm like, actually, we want to be your platinum sponsor. If we're the only sponsor and partner, we'll be really happy with that. And it was great to come on board and be a part of this. If Sonia's going to do this next year, then we'd love to be your partner again. We absolutely see this as a journey. I wanted to give women in the room, but this is for the men as well, because you have women in your lives. I want to give you 3 pieces of advice that we share with a lot of our women on our programs, just before we wrap up for the night. We hear so many women say some things that are kind of like Debbie Downers. So these are some things we'd love to hear you not say in the future. We'd love women not to say the word just so often. Okay, so if there was a word to take out of your diary, let's start with out of your vocab, take out the word just. We hear things like, I'm just a housewife, I'm just a mum, I just work part-time. Can we get rid of just? For those of you in the corporate world, check your emails. For those of you who are the head of, general manager of, CEO of, check your emails, and sometimes you'll write emails that say things like, hi, such and such. I'm just checking in to see where you're up to with blah, blah, blah. We give away power with that stuff. And I'm not talking about being controlling here. I'm just saying, let's put some balance back in this stuff. Let's get rid of the minimising of ourselves. Can we throw out the word just unless it's necessary? Unless we're talking about just and fair. Okay, if we're talking about equality, it's okay. But if we're talking about minimising ourselves, it's out, ladies and men, okay? No more justifying. The second one, can we stop being so, I was about to say friggin', oh my God, I did. So can we stop being so grateful? Do you know what we're grateful for? We're grateful when they say, come back to work part-time after you've had a baby, and I'll pay you 60% of your old salary for 3 days a week. Thank you very much, I'm so grateful. What the hell for? Okay? We need to think about this as a negotiation. Okay, if I'm going to give you 60% of my time and you give me 60% of the salary, deal is done, buddy. Okay, that's the deal here. We are so grateful. Do you know what happens when we do those deals? We then stop going out for lunch, we stop going for coffee, we stop having networking opportunities, careers go backwards, and we feel trapped. So we're trapped in motherhood guilt, we're trapped in I'm not the perfect employer, okay, but I'm still so grateful. And you wonder why you feel so stressed, depleted, and there's a heap of other words, but you know what they are. So can we stop being so grateful for those sorts of things? We really need to stop with that. And the last one is sorry. Do you know how many times women say sorry? Well, I walked into the bathroom tonight, and as I went past, I don't need those anymore because now I know I have my flow. As you walk past, if you go into a girl's bathroom quite often, as you try to go to their not you, but I'm just thinking, because I'm looking at you because you probably don't know this. But sometimes you'll go up and you'll go and put hand lotion on, or go to the dryer, or get a hand towel, or whatever it is, and there's another woman that's between you and there. And the first word we say is sorry. We don't say excuse me, we say sorry. What in the world are we apologising for? We go to walk through a door before someone else and we say sorry. We spend so much of our time apologising for things that we have no reason to apologise for. So just 3 things. Let's catch ourselves on our just, our gratefuls and our sorries, because they are unnecessary and they don't serve us to be the best women that we need to be. And the best men either. Men don't need to use these words either, unless we are really grateful for something that's worthwhile, unless we've done something wrong and we should be truly sorry. Okay? And unless we want a truly fair and just world. So on that note, I would love to say to you, absolutely enjoy the book Dear Me, because that is something that I had an amazing time doing last year with some incredible women in this room who have shared their stories. Dear Me for me was a project about trying to, I suppose, share with my daughter, we turned 16 last year, so it was for Olivia in my 50th year, my gift to her, showing really strong, admirable, diverse women and their stories about, here's my letter to my 16-year-old self. This is what I would want her to know. And the stories are full of, there's hardly any sorries in there. There's lots of stories about, I wish I hadn't said sorry, wish I hadn't been so grateful, I wish I had looked after my health better, I wish I'd had, stronger relationships with my friends. There's a lot of things that we should have done, so take heed from that, enjoy the book, and thank you very much for an amazing evening.